everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about some of the people that inspire me as a writer, but also just as a creative person. And I would really appreciate if you guys would comment down below some of the people that you've been inspired by, because I am incredibly intrigued by different types of creative people. And I really want to look into some of the people who have inspired you or who you take inspiration from. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. The first person I want to talk about is Ethan Hawke. And you might recognize his name from movies like Dead Poet Society, Before Sunrise, things like that. He's been in many films. He's a great actor, but he's not just an actor, and that is what I want to talk about because that's what I take from him as an artist. He's an all-around artist. Most people will only be one type of artist, an actor, a writer, or a painter. He just decides to go for everything, and he actually cares about his crafts. Other than acting, he's also a screenwriter. I actually just watched his new movie, Wildcat, which stars his daughter, Maya Hawke, and it was actually fabulous, about Flannery O'Connor, which is a short story writer who I actually very much admire, and you should definitely check out that movie. But he's a screenwriter. He wrote novels, and he plays his guitar, he does music, and he takes great inspiration from music all around, as well as movies. So he not only creates a lot of types of art, he also consumes a lot of art and actually cares about the act of creating and about art and supporting artists. And he talks about this in one of his videos about how important art is. And I think that's very much overlooked in this society, that art is kind of just like a secondary thing, like a hobby. You can have it as a hobby, but you can't have it as a career. But Ethan Hawke sees creativity and art as a necessity for humanity. And that video that I referenced was Give Yourself Permission to Be Creative. It's his TED Talk. I highly recommend you go check that out. It's really not that long. He has such great views on things. I've really been watching a lot of his stuff recently, not just his movies, but also his interviews. But yeah, he indulges in all types of art forms, both consuming and creating. And that's something I want to do, is not just be a writer. I want to be an all-around artist. I want to try out different things, even if I'm not going to be good at them. But yeah, he just has a lot of good perspectives about creativity, and I really admire him a lot. Alright, this leads me to my next person who is also an all-around artist, which is Donald Glover. He is an actor, a comedian, a musician. You might know him as Childish Gambino. He actually made a movie called Guava Island. Highly recommend watching that. That he acted in and had his music in. He's just an all-around artist, and he blurs the lines between different types of art. You can be an artist in so many different ways that it's hard to define sometimes, and I think that's something that he does really well, and I think that's really cool, that you can create your own types of art. You don't have to be bound by the traditional roles of different types of artists. You can be all types of artists, and that's the same thing that I talked about with Ethan Hawke. And it's something that I really admire. He also has this unwavering faith in himself, which I think a lot of artists lack most of the time, especially new artists like myself. But yeah, he knows he can do all of this great stuff, so he does it. And that's what differentiates him. The message from him that I take is just do it, You just gotta do it. A cool video, if you're interested in him and his work, is The Many Faces of Donald Glover by Dodford. I'm excited to see what he keeps doing in the future. So the next person is Rick Rubin, which I've actually talked about him in my last video. I recommended his book, The Creative Act, A Way of Being. Rick Rubin is a big name in the creative world. His idea that creativity is a source that we can all tap into is really intriguing. And a lot of those ideas that he's talked about in various podcasts and in his book have really inspired me and changed my view on creativity. That instead of us creating creativity, it's a source that flows through everything and that we can tap into. He just has so many fresh and organic views on the act of creating, and I really like seeing that kind of thing. Previously, I thought that you can be an artist in one section of your life, but you can't be an artist in all sections of your life. But you can really be an artist, you can be a creative no matter what part of life you're in. So I don't have any specific recommendations to watch, but literally any podcast or video with him in it is really good. I've watched many of them. The next person I want to talk about is my top artist of 2023, Mac DeMarco. Great artist. If you don't know him, that's crazy, and you should definitely go check him out on Spotify. He has such great music. He's the kind of artist that I can like just hit shuffle on his Spotify and I'll be okay, because I love everything that he does. And the reason I really like what he does is that he's unapologetically himself, and you'll see what I mean when you watch an interview of him, or when you hear a song, you know it's his, because it's just him. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. What you see is what you get as well in the interviews. He still lives in very modestly. He lives how he did before he blew up, and he still makes great music, and he's not controlled by the demands of the market. He just keeps doing him. He doesn't get egotistical about wealth and fame. As far as I know, he still lives in his little lake house, which you can check out one of the videos called DeMarco Lives the Indie Rock Dream by Rolling Stone on YouTube, and you'll see what I mean about, he's just very down-to-earth kind of guy, and he's not compromising himself for the industry. He really just makes art for himself and not based on what other people hope for, and I think that's something that a lot of people recently kind of fall victim to, is they want to sell. They want to make money, so they just make art that they think people will like and want to buy. And it's understandable in this economy, but it's so important to make things for yourself that you enjoy, because you are the only you out there, so you are going to be the only person creating that type of art. And I think that there are a lot of people out there who are drawn to individuality and things that they haven't seen before. And that's what I kind of am trying to do as best I can, is I just want to make stuff I want to make, and hopefully there's somebody out there who can respect that and who will want to read what I have to write. But if not, that's okay. At least I got away from the experience joy. But yeah, what I take away from DeMarco is the importance of individuality and maintaining your own voice. I'm going to talk about two people now real quickly, and they're both author YouTubers that I have been following for quite some time. The first one is Kate Kavanaugh. She's like one of my favorite author YouTubers who I've been watching since middle school, and she really inspired me to keep writing. And she's part of the reason I started this channel, because, I don't know, she seemed to have a lot of fun making the videos, but she's proved that there are so many routes you can take in life, and I think, I don't know how much she's actually talked about this on her YouTube channel, but I did watch one of her videos where she addressed it. She basically had a full-time job and realized that it wasn't really for her, and so with the savings that she had from it, she dropped out and started doing writing full-time, and that's what she's been doing since, as far as I know. And it's just proof that you can pursue writing even if you have a full-time job, and that you don't have to stay stuck in one place if you don't like it. Basically, you have the power over your own life. You can change whenever you want to change. For me, that gives me a lot of hope for my future, because I'm in college right now, so it's like a time in my life when I'm really worried about what the future holds, and this gives me hope and peace. But also, she's just really fun to watch. And the second person I want to talk about is Dakota Warren. She really just lives her art. If you watch her videos, you'll see what I mean. Her art really does reflect how she lives, and she lives how she writes, and I really like the idea of living creatively like that, living your art, being your own muse, where you yourself are a piece of art and you yourself are working on art. I think that's beautiful. I think that's something I'd like to strive for. Both of those YouTubers are really great to watch. I love watching their videos, and they both give me hope for my future. Tyler, the Creator. I am aware that he is a lot of people's inspiration, but he is also mine, and I love a lot of his music, but I also just respect him as an artist. He keeps pushing the boundaries in his music. He does so many different types of genres. He's not just tied to one, and I really respect that. But he's, again, one of those artists who's just unapologetically himself, and he keeps showing who he is through his art. He doesn't care what people think, and that's the thing. He has his own brand, has his own music obviously, and he just keeps, wearing things and saying things and doing things that he wants to do, say, and wear, and he doesn't really care if anybody likes it or not. And it's not about the commercialization of it all. It's about making experiences for his audiences that are genuine and very cool. If you haven't checked out his music, definitely go check it out. The very last person that I want to talk about is Miyazaki, Studio Jubilee. All of those films by Studio Jubilee, that's Miyazaki's work. You can tell through his work that he is just so dedicated to it because of all the passion he puts into it, and he's dedicated to it because he loves what he does. He actually came out of retirement to make another movie called The Boy and the Heron, which I actually saw in theaters when it came out recently. He just seems so genuine about his art and pursuing it. And this is a little off topic, but his views on nature that come from his culture are so inspiring to me. One of my favorite films growing up was My Neighbor Totoro. It doesn't have a huge plot, like it's mostly just vibes, but I always have loved trees so much, and that movie is really where it came from because of the great respect that is paid to nature and to trees. And for me, nature is a huge inspiration. My creative reservoir feels filled after watching his movies. They also just make me feel so at ease. And I think sometimes that's exactly the kind of movie we need, is something that just makes us feel at ease, peaceful. In my opinion, art should make you feel happy and excited, and you shouldn't be thinking, oh, I should go do some art, but rather, I need to, and I want to desperately. And I can tell that he's one of those individuals. My recommendation, media-wise, is just watch his movies. My Neighbor Totoro is my favorite. Highly recommend that one. Ponyo's good. Secret Life of Arrietty, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, all of them. Howl's Moving Castle. There's just so many, but go check them out because they're amazing, and I love them very much, and I hope that you love them too. Okay, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for letting me ramble on about my favorite artists. It was very fun for me, and I hope that you found somebody that you want to go check out and get inspired by. And please, like I said at the beginning, leave some people in the comments that you are inspired by, some artists, some creatives. I wanna look into them. I wanna be inspired by more people. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please watch my last video, like this video, and subscribe. You guys are awesome. I'm so excited for where this channel can go. I will see you next time.